So I'm talking today about how the true psychology of our time, especially in this age of narcissism, psychopathy, is deeper than what people think. And so a lot of people up here running around, expressing opinion back and forth. And the true champions go deeper and understand the deeper issues, understand what purpose is, and how you can be successful for the long term by understanding the psychology of our times. And I want to talk about that today because we live in very challenging times. And what a lot of people aren't so clear about is that there is this kind of selfish, sometimes somewhat narcissistic, even psychopathic, psychopathy type of psychology that's out there that kind of is mean and kind of coercive to people and makes people think that, the route to success is to be that kind of way, that crass, that condemning of others and this kind of thing. And that's what my life and work's about, is to change the psychology of our times, right? To show that, our goodness is stronger, and especially when our goodness is forged into purpose, as I do with Gentle Genius Coaching, as maybe I'll mention later. But, and the fairness revolution is all about is reestablishing fairness at the core. And the main point is that, a lot of people are still up here chasing, kind of ideas and this and that and divisiveness without understanding that the real psychology, real action, real change is going deeper. And that's what my work's about, is helping companies, families, and individuals get to that deeper place to really understand the psychology of our times. Because so many people are caught up in the surface level function of what's going on. And, I'll throw in here that, I walk the walk. I've developed this over the course of 30 years. Here I am. I'll show you a little tidbit of me out walking the walk today. But, this psychology has been forged in me over the course of 30 years. Today's topic, part of the Fairness Revolution, looking below the surface. In this age of narcissism, psychopathy, there's a lot of gaslighting, manipulation, coercion. My mathematical formula is purpose, or goodness, is the antidote. And that's why our work, helps you forge that purpose. You find your goodness, forge it into purpose, and learn to communicate it appropriately and assertively, not aggressively, not passively. So the key is to develop, develop this awareness that there's something wacky in the climate right now, on the surface. There's something wacky in the psychology these days. And this is my life and work. This is the breakthrough to help people get to a deeper place. As I say, I've done the mathematics. I've made it an art and a science to help people, find that goodness within. And it's not enough to have goodness, though. It's not enough to say, well, I'm a good person. These days, and my work demands that you forge it into purpose. Okay, that it becomes, purpose becomes that psychological battle armor that you can go out with your goodness. So, because people who are doing well and doing good in the world are going to get hit from an array of forces. People come in and try to attack you spiritually, psychologically, financially, whatever it be. And you have to develop this psychological armor, in the form of purpose, which allows you to go on and take the hits and navigate and even take setbacks and get back up. Because when purpose is within you, okay, you don't stop. You have, becomes your reason to live, a deep purpose. So anything that's happening around you just becomes the noise, the distractions, the challenges. And again, our work is about turning challenge into opportunity. And I think a magical part that I talk about is, the magic of the third way is helping, people develop their assertiveness. Because if you're aggressive, you're going to get slapped down. And if you're passive, you're going to get run over. So the key is to learn to be appropriately assertive, that you can hold your position. And even if you get knocked down, you learn how to get back up. And that's kind of the psychology. And so anyone who's dealt with, a bullying situation, an extreme narcissistic attack or situation, that situations can get turned upside down, that logic is at risk of getting thrown out the window. And this is where our work helps you develop that forbearance to keep going forward, to keep working. It's what my life and work is about. And as I say, it's been forged over 30 years. So I believe we need a fundamental switch in our psychology where we kind of get rid of this superficial level of meanness and we realize the true winners, the champions, the winners of this world are those who take their goodness and forge it into purpose. And then as the third component, as I say, is to communicate it assertively out into the world. That's where the work begins. So that's what I'm talking about today. That's what my work's about. You can take a look at my websites and get in touch as you like. Please do like and subscribe and follow and all that kind of thing. And because this, as I say, this is work that has been forged over the course of 30 years.